In what ways does your media project develop, use or challenge forms and conventions of real media projects? Film noirs, especially those made in the 1950s, often used oneiric film theory. This is a depiction of dreamlike states in the motion picture, or the use of metaphor of a dream or dreamlike state in film. The iconic airport scene at the end of Joseph H. Lewis's The Big Combo is a good example, with two figures silhouetted in smoke. We wanted to take the ideas of oneiric film theory in the classical sense of setting and lighting in film noirs, but also wanted to draw more modern ideas to bring our piece firmly into the 21st century. We filmed our scene at a set of sofas made out of brick in Ramsgate. The sofas are usually soft, so brick gave the familiar shapes of surreal and dreamlike quality perfect for our film noir. We also edited parts of the scene in such a way that it seems as if it had a glitch in the footage. This is similar to how video games had software glitches, or what happens when you tried to tape over a video on a VCR. The old footage tended to bleed into the new. These two technologies are fairly modern and weren't around in the 1950s. This brought our film into the modern era while still giving a respectful nod to the style of old film noirs. Lighting is often used as part of the film noir genre, with stark shadows and contrasting light spots being in the forefront of the cinematography. Because of this, we paid close attention to lighting. Taking inspiration from the way shadows are used in the opening of Sin City on the two characters' faces, we kept our main character partially obscured by shadow for the majority of the film. By barely getting a clear look at his face or seeing into his eyes, a lot of his emotions and inner thoughts are masked, making him a more mysterious character. It is not wholly obvious whether he is good or bad because we don't have a clear view of his thoughts and feelings, keeping to the convention of an anti-hero as lead character. We achieved this chiaroscuro lighting through holding up boards to block off light from the camera to cause shadow, positioning light so facial features cause shadow, as was done in the dialogue scenes, and using the brim of our main character's fedora to keep his eyes dark. We also achieved the silhouette through positioning our character in front of lights. Linked to lighting, we decided to use the motif of smoking and, by extension, addiction throughout our film. Smoking is a popular pastime for the men of film noirs, and our main character is no different. Having looked at Out of the Past by director Jacques Toncoeur, we noticed that their two characters often show emotions due to smoking. Every time they'd exhale, light would be thrown out to capture the smoke well on camera, and through this emotions were expressed to the audience. Critic Roger Ebert cites it as the greatest cigarette-smoking movie of all time, and said, "There were guns, but the real hostility came where Robert Mitchum and Kirk Douglas smoked at each other." Because of this, we chose to follow the convention of smoking and try and show our lead's weakness. Though our character is stoic throughout the scenes shot on location, he spends the majority of time with a cigarette, displaying his dependence on them and his addiction. He seems in control, but the cigarette gives it away. He is reliant on something else. Perhaps this reliance foreshadowing what would later be revealed about him in our film. The theme of crime is also one film noirs tend to revolve around. In our scene, the two men exchange a package for an envelope on a brick sofa in the night. Because of the setting of this exchange, it suggests it is being done secretly and outside the law. The worried expression on a secondary character's face also suggests that the exchange takes place out of his moral comfort zone as well. This points to the criminal nature of the exchange. The music we chose steadily increases in pitch and volume. Film theorist Raymond Spottiswoode wrote, "Film score is often chosen for, among other things, evocation," saying, "Leitmotifs act as emotives and assist the visual film towards insight into characters." Our building pitch and volume show the uncomfortable and unlawful nature of what the men are doing. Costume in older film noirs tended to be upper middle class, so we dressed our characters in suits. The fedora is also a quintessential piece in a film noir, with it being worn by stars such as Robert Mitchum, Fred McMurray, Kirk Douglas, and almost every other male lead. We use the fedora to mask the face with shadow, and it suggests, as he is only wearing it when he's on location at the brick sofas, our character is also masking his emotions. His true emotions of panic and stress coming out in the dialogue scenes.